Okay, before I go there, I just want to let you know that I'm not being insensitive. I'm just being real. I watched clips, okay? I watched speeches from CK's memorial service, and his wife was by far the creepiest, weirdest person up there. And saying that is saying a lot. Because we got all sorts of temperaments, okay? Marco Rubio was like a black evangelist preacher. That was his mood. There was some other guy named Jack who was like a UFC type, talking about the armor of God and like fighting this spiritual warfare. Yeah, a lot of people kept saying spiritual warfare, including JD Vance, who's a converted Catholic. Like, I was just so confused by the whole thing. But former Miss Arizona, Erica Kirk. First of all, why didn't she pray? Like, I was waiting for someone of all these religious people. I was waiting for someone to freaking pray. I was raised so religious. The first thing we did before any sort of conversation was pray. Anyways, she does this thing, like, I swear, I don't think any of her tears, or I don't think tears fell out of her eyes. Like, I don't think anything came out of her eyes. The way that she cries is like, and I'm an actor, I've taken years of acting classes. The way that she cries is so dramatic and such an experience. I promise you there's no tears. But it's like she does this thing where she has to start with her head down. And then she has to go up. And it's a whole thing. And I'm just like, girl. And then she has moments where she looks like this and her eyes are just blaring, and that's her revenge stance when she's talking about like revenge. Then, oh my God, then she told everyone how as a wife she made coming home for Charlie something that he couldn't wait to do, but he was always on the road. I was like, girl, we don't need to know all of this. Then she proceeded to tell the young men of America something about embracing true manhood. I was like, is this gonna work? And then apparently Turning Point USA has a faith department, or I don't know if the whole thing is like faith-based in ministry or something, but she said something about opening congregations and like onboarding thousands of pastors. So I'm like, girl, maybe this is the clarity that I needed to understand, because I have never listened to any of Charlie Kirk's ministry. Trump said he was a missionary. I don't even know, like, was he Mormon? No, I guess not. But like, I'm so confused why we need to care about what your religion is. Like, I'm so confused. Like, what is happening? Why were politicians acting like pastors and preachers? This is my question. Like, this is a very confusing situation. And it's flooring me that they're so willing to explain how much of a spiritual warfare this is. Oh my God, Stephen freaking Miller, who's Jewish, was also straight up on the I don't know, I guess he was for Jesus yesterday. But he was coming with some kind of warrior message. I'm just like, honey, I think you need a therapist. I don't really think you need Jesus. I mean, Jewish people don't believe Jesus is Savior anyway. Anyways, these are just some of the things that, like, this was the general theme of what I gathered from this memorial service, and I only saw a handful of people speak. Trump, of course, made it all about himself and the announcements that he had coming up. Apparently, he found a cure for autism with RFK Jr., which is like the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. I don't even know if I care to watch it, but I probably will for entertainment value. But like, what? Can RFK Jr. like cure his voice, like his vocal cords, before he tries to like cure autism and eliminate vaccines?